Welcome to the FX Options Weekly Outlook, a weekly podcast series hosted by Jason Ayres, a top instructor, trader, and founder of OptionSource.net. Join Jason as he discusses the latest trends in the Forex market with a look ahead on the US dollar versus the major currencies using the most commonly used technical indicators.
Well, hi there and welcome to the ISE FX Options Weekly Outlook. I'm Jason Ayres of OptionSource.net. As always, let's take a look at our weekly US dollar index. It's a great way to gain some perspective as to how the US dollar has been trading against a basket of currencies. Now, the dollar index continues to hold within that 78 range. However, until we see a commitment above the 79.80 focal zone, the path of least resistance continues to be to the downside, with this 76.77 box representing the next logical support. Now, if we take a look at our daily snapshot, there does appear to be a sideways triangle forming here, which tends to reflect some indecision. However, this particular pattern is traditionally known as a continuation pattern, lending further credibility to a move down into that 76.77 box. Well, let's take a look at the first of our ISE FX option pair values, the CDD, the US versus the Canadian dollar. This 107-108 focal zone continues to hold as support, with this pair value failing to commit to any direction over the last several weeks. This 111-112 box remains a key overhead resistance, and until this is breached, the trend remains to the downside, with this 103-104 box as our next target. Well, the U.S. dollar continued weakening against the yen, as seen here in the YUK. We had the 94.5 box as a support level last week, and with also what appeared to be a bullish reversal candle in place. However, after a mild attempt at rallying, support broke and the YUK closed the week below this key focal zone. Unless we see a move back into this 94 range early in the week, a test of this 92.5 support level is a high probability. Well, the U.S. dollar bulls were unable to gain any ground against the euro here as the EUI continues to consolidate below the 70.5 focal zone. Now, although there is a small support level roughly down here at the 69.25 area, the next logical target does appear to be down into the 68 to 68.5 box. Now, our overhead trend line here also continues to be a major resistance level. Until we see a break of that trend line, the path of least resistance continues to be to the downside. Trading somewhat against the grain this week seems to be the BPX, as the U.S. dollar gains some ground against the pound. Now, this 62.5 box remains a key overhead resistance. However, as long as the BPX holds its ground here, it is possible to see a move into this 63.5 range. A deeper pullback is likely to search out support within the 60.5 to 61 focal zone. Now let's take a look at the AUX, the US versus the Australian dollar, and once again the AUX is testing the upper range of our 117-118 focal zone, and unless we see a break of this 121-122 resistance, the trend continues to be to the downside, with the next support level coming in at this 114-115 box. Finally, let's review our key points. As with last week, the U.S. dollar has been unable to break that resistance level at the 79.80 focal zone. The trend does continue to be down, however, 78 remains an important support level. A break below this is likely to result in a deeper sell-off. The CDD continues to hold support at 108. There continues to be a lot of indecision. The 110 focal zone continues to be an important barrier for any upside movement. Until we see a break above this level, the path of least resistance continues to be to the downside. The YUK attempted to move higher but broke below a key support to end the week below 94. If we don't see a break back into the 94 zone earlier on in the week, we'll be looking for a continuation to the downside. The EUI still remains below the 71 level and appears to be continuing its downside trend. The BPX broke and held above 61 but must breach 62 for us to be bullish in the bigger picture. The AUX is once again testing the upper range of our 117-118 focal zone, which remains an important support level. A break below this will likely yield a deeper sell-off. And this has been your ISE FX Options Weekly Outlook for August 31st, 2009. I'm Jason Ayres of OptionSource.net. Thanks for joining me here this week. We'll see you here next week.
Thank you for participating in this week's session. Please join us again next week. For trading ideas, exchange rates, webinars, news, and commentary, visit www.fxoptions.com. Become an OptionSource.net member. Visit www.optionsource.net. ISE FX options can be easily traded through all options-enabled brokerage accounts. These exchange-listed securities are cash-settled in U.S. dollars and have a European-style exercise.